Monkeys in space. Space Chimps is the 2008 animated children's movie written and directed by Kirk D'Amico, who was actually responsible for the Croods movies 5 years after he made this marvelous masterpiece. Alright, no. Cut the music. This is not the right mood that we're gonna set here with fucking Space Chimps. Let's start over. Hi, my name is GooseToe, and today we're going to be looking into the movie Space Chimps, written and directed by Kirk D'Amico, and blah blah blah, you already know. I just told you. I watched this movie when I was a kid, and I think I might have liked it, although when I watched the trailer, I thought I had never seen it before because I just forgot about the movie, which isn't a great sign. One thing I'd like to say before we start, the acting in this movie is pretty damn good. They got Andy Samberg as Ham, which, you know, Andy Samberg is the best, so that's just an extra 10 cool points just for that. That's gonna be very important later. But come with me as we explore the wondrous world of Space Chimps, and let's see if it's as good as I think I thought it was. The movie begins with the main character Ham, who is the grandson of the first monkey who went into space, being shot out of a cannon. On his way down, he does some tricks and, well, doesn't stick the landing. And this is the point I'm going to be making a lot. This monkey just landed from this height on his back, and he walks away with nothing more than just a hurt hand. What? And this doesn't just happen once. This happens multiple times during the duration of this film, which I will point out every single time because it's just as ridiculous every single time. Fall damage is turned off in this movie. We then cut to the spacecraft entering a wormhole and then this alien planet where we see some alien kids following this alien butterfly. It lands near the house and this fucking douchebag named Sartog over here takes the butterfly and dips it into this grey goop. Then the spacecraft crashes into the douche's house, but surprise surprise, Sartog gains control of the spacecraft and now he's gonna fuck some shit up. The machine was from Earth, specifically these people, and they need something alive to go through the wormhole the spacecraft just went through to see if humans could survive it. So they choose monkeys!
They've been training for this their whole lives.
Training schmaining. These chimps are boring. They're chimp nerds.
Let me ask you a question. Which one of these monkeys is cooler? Yeah, take your time. A or B? You got your answer? Okay, well, they're the same monkey! I just added sunglasses to this one, so I don't know what the fuck is going on with this guy saying we can't have nerd monkeys, cause just add sunglasses to them and they're automatically cool. So now everyone is Sartog's slave on the alien planet and are forced to make this big structure. He leaves the machine to monologue about his evil plan to one of the other aliens. Basically, there's this volcano and it will erupt sometime soon. But oh no, when it erupts, it will hit Sartog's building. Well, Sartog's got a plan. He's made a way so that when the volcano erupts, it will just hit all the other aliens' houses. Problem solved. I had one thought during this whole monologue that would have really just fixed everything immediately and would have also made this movie end a lot sooner. Why doesn't everybody just beat the fucking shit out of Sartog while he's just standing there, not in his machine? They could have just ran at him, picked him up, and thrown him into the grey goop. Or someone could have just hopped into the machine and ran him over. Or, you know, something like this. But no, we're only 23 minutes into the movie and the movie still needs a villain, so fucking whatever. Let's keep going. So the monkeys land successfully and as planned. They start taking pictures and Andy Samberg... And he says this.
I've been naughty.
The aliens start chasing the monkeys and a long chase sequence commences, ending with them falling off this cliff. And he survives the fall! This is the height he just fell from. That monkey should be a puddle right now. And this is such a huge problem in this movie, and it just doesn't make any sense as to why these monkeys keep surviving these huge falls from such high heights. I can let some incorrect physics slide. But this next part is frankly unforgivable. Warning, warning, this next part of the movie will 100% scar you for life. Viewer discretion is advised.
Which one of us lost our flashlight? That moves really fast behind rocks and has a head.
Ew, it's so fucking gross, and it fucking sings opera when it's scared. God, I hate it so much. I can't feel relaxed with this thing in my line of eyesight. It's genuinely the grossest character I've ever seen that wasn't meant to be gross. God. Ugh. What the fuck is going on? Oh fuck, it's surrounding the monkeys. It's definitely killing them from behind, and this is some sort of sick distraction. God, I hate it. I hate it. No, okay. I'm fine. Let's keep going. So this monster's name is Kilowatt, and it's gonna lead the monkeys to Titan, the big monkey, Sartog, and the alien slaves. And Titan is teaching Sartog on how to use the big machine more because of reasons. Probably. The monkeys then meet some gummy guys, dance with it, and then the aliens find them and start chasing them. So the gummy guys turn into a big wheel and take them to the cave of the flesh-devouring beast. And they go in, cause of course they do. So now they're in the cave running away from a big beast. Nothing as scary as Kilowatt, of course. And apparently Kilowatt's head glows when it's scared, which is not very good for them. But then Kilowatt sacrificed herself like 5 minutes after we meet her. So there was like no chance for anybody to ever grow attached, you know, even if it wasn't the scariest thing in the world. The monkeys get to the volcano and see the epic alien party taking place, so they go on these flying things, go down, and get Titan back. The monkeys get on the ship again, and they find out they never had control of the ship. It was all just bells and whistles in the controls. But when they were on the way to the alien planet, they pressed a button that did this. So they could control that. But also when Ham was crash landing, he pressed some buttons and the airbags were deployed. So either they did have control in the beginning and the writers just forgot, or this is how it's supposed to be and they only really had control of those two things. Which, honestly, they're both equally likely, so I'm not gonna discuss this any further, but just, you know, just throwing it out there. Ham sees the aliens having fun together and decides he wants to stay back and save them. Luna agrees, but then this happens.
I took an oath to return this ship to Earth, and that's what I'm gonna do. Lieutenant Luna, this is an order.
There goes our ride.
And Titan.
Commander!
What about your oath?
Chimps don't leave chimps behind.
Just immediately changes his mind. I think that is one of the problems with this movie as well. The pacing is just very odd. Like Kilowatt sacrificing herself after like 5 minutes and Titan changing his mind after like 5 seconds. There's no room for these moments to work. And that Titan scene was just very unnecessary and probably should have just been cut. The monkeys get taken by Sartog and Titan tricks him into pressing the eject button and then he goes into the goop. Then no, why is it back? The monkeys make a ship and use Sartog as the nose cone and they blast off using the volcano as thruster to leave the atmosphere and return home. They start landing on Earth again and Luna falls off the ship while fixing the ship, and this is how high she was. She survives it! The monkeys always survive these fucking falls. How are monkeys surviving such impossible heights every single time in this universe? It is such a common thing in this movie. It happened like 3 times. But then the movie just ends. And in conclusion, this movie's okay. It made me laugh a couple times and it's definitely not as horrifying as Garfield Gets Real. Or, okay, maybe I'll reconsider. But the movie's pretty good. If you're a kid and you can look past how it defies logic, its pacing is awful at some points, and it has the most horrific and disgusting creature in the world in it. Maybe kids shouldn't watch this. I'm pretty sure I liked the movie when I was a kid, but I also forgot everything about it before I watched it again, so I can't really say. All I can say right now is that I would rate this movie a 50%. And that is with the 10 extra cool points of Andy Samberg playing a monkey and saying,
I've been naughty.
That. But one question still remains that you probably didn't ask at all. What happened to Sartog? He was on top of the ship when they lifted off, but not when they landed. So where did he go? Well, that is a question that will be answered in Space. So I'm gonna give this short because there isn't as much to talk about with Space Chimps 2 as there was with Space Chimps 1. I think. So this is more of a bonus chapter, if it isn't as long or longer than the first chapter. One thing I'd like to discuss is just how impossible it was to get my hands on this movie. I was looking for the English version of this movie for around 3 days in 1 week, and it is just impossible to download this movie. I tried downloading it off torrent site and it was stuck at 0 for the entire day. And it's not like the site was broken or anything, because I downloaded Space Chimps 1 like a day prior and it worked fine. I looked so hard for this movie that I was considering just buying it. I do not condone pirating movies. Go to the theaters and pay for the new movies to support the people that worked on them. Okay, thank you. I mean, come on, I'm not gonna buy Space Chimps 2. Are you kidding me? It had been a week. And I still didn't have the movie that I was gonna make a video on, so I told my dad. He thought it was weird and nothing really happened until the next day when he came into my room and told me, we already have the movie. Apparently, we already had the movie just in Icelandic, and the title was in Icelandic, so I didn't think to search Game Apartnir. So the reason you won't hear any dialogue from this movie, it's because of that. Also, Andy Samberg does not return for his titular and award-winning role as Ham, and instead, Tom Kenny plays Ham. Sadly, we can't hear him because the English version of this movie is just, it doesn't exist. I'm pretty sure you can maybe watch it like online, but you'll definitely get a virus, and I'm not really into that. The movie begins with a smaller ape from Space Chimps 1 telling us that he will be the next ape to go to the alien planet that they went to in the first movie. His name is Comet, and Comet has been FaceTime with Monster, Kilowatt for some time now. So remember how Sartag was the nose cone of the ship in Space Chimps 1? Well, apparently while they were landing, he fell off and landed here in front of this house. Apparently nobody noticed or cared about the random frozen alien there that moved his eyeballs. But yeah, he's just kind of been there for like, I presume a couple weeks or months. So Comet actually can't go to space because of budget cuts. So he just breaks into the ship and accidentally activates a voice command that makes it lift off. Which, okay, two things. Number 1. Why was he in the ship pressing all the buttons to prepare it for liftoff if he wasn't actually planning on going? And number 2. Why the hell would you have a voice command that just makes it lift off? All he had to say was, I wish I could lift off, and then just blam, he just goes. Isn't like in NASA, if somebody's about to go into space, they have like a bunch of people inside the building, you know, pressing buttons and preparing it for liftoff and actually make it go up so the astronaut doesn't just go into space out of nowhere. Am I wrong? It makes more sense to me than just saying liftoff and then you just go. So the spaceship lifts off and the blast radius hits Sartag and cracks his shell. But my question as soon as I saw it was, why is there a house that close to a space station? I feel like a house shouldn't be allowed to be built that close to a space station, that when a spaceship blasts off, the blast radius hits the house. So now Comet is in space and he's flying past like 50 galaxies in a day, which, you know, it doesn't work like that. It takes like approximately 7 months for us just to get to Mars, and this fucking monkey over here is just flying past galaxies like it's nothing. But I mean, god fucking damn it, it's Space Chimps. They fall from 1,000 feet heights on the daily and walk away like it's nothing. So fucking whatever. Then we cut back to Earth and my favorite scene comes up where Sartag sees a car driving towards him. He jumps in front of the car. The guys get out of the car to check if he's okay, and he just jumps up and runs to the car and just hijacks it and drives away. And just the thought of you're like driving somewhere and then you just hit something and you check on it. It's a fucking weird alien creature, and then it just jumps up and it goes like bah! And then it runs over and takes your car and hijacks it. It's genius. After this though, the movie really just dumbs down to Comet doing the exact same things as they did in the first movie, except there's no danger and he's just chilling there. And on Earth, Sartag is holding everyone in the space station captive with a Wii remote. Yeah, and that's it. The movie ends with them shrinking Sartag to the size of a chihuahua, and that's the end of Space Chimps 2. And this is why this is just a bonus chapter, because I really only have things to say about the first 20 minutes of the movie, and then the rest of it is just whatever. Unless you wanted me to scream and shout about how ugly Kilowatt is for about 20 minutes, because she's in this movie just way more than the first one. And that is why I'm giving this movie a 0%. Because it also doesn't even have Andy Samberg in it. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to hear him anyways because he's in Icelandic, but still. And it has so much more kilowatt in it. If she never showed up, I would probably give this movie like a 60%. Honestly, the parts in the space station are actually pretty enjoyable. The humor is pretty good. It's just a silly kids movie about monkeys, aliens, and scientists. It's nothing amazing, but it's alright. It's just the part on the alien planet is so unnecessary because nothing happens there. But that's it for Space Chimps. I have watched these movies so much more than I ever should have. I think watching both of these movies at least once is fine, but I've watched both movies 5 times. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, consider subscribing, liking, and commenting on Monkey Fact. If you would like to support me even more than that though, you could donate to my Patreon. It's just $5 to feed the goose and you'll get your name in the credits of all my videos, sneak peeks, you'll be able to see every new video one day before anyone else, you'll get to see bonus videos if I have any later down the line, and new tiers will be added in the future. But honestly, just watching the videos here is enough already. So have a good day, and I'll see you later.